I started by ripping a piece of a 1/2 inch OSB down to size. If you don't have a table saw, a circular saw will work just as well. Otherwise, a lot of the big box stores will actually help you cut this to size if needed. Alright, so I've got my piece of 1/2 inch OSB right here. It's actually 2 pieces. I had to scab 2 together just to get the overall length, but ideally you'd want 1 piece. This is what I had on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. So instead of doing a whole bunch of measurements, try to find out where the center or the radius that you need is, I'm going to make it a little bit more dummy proof. So take the overall length that you have. So this, in my case, is 59.5 inches. And you're just going to split that in the center. So 29 3/4. Okay, and then I know the center of my arc I want to be 9 inches down from the ceiling. So on that center mark, I'm going to mark 9 inches. Alright, so I've got my center mark, and then it's 9 inches down. Then take 3 screws, put 1 screw right on that center mark that you just marked out. You don't have to drive it in too far. And then take the other 2 screws and put them in the bottom 2 corners. Alright, so we got our 3 screws in place, 2 in the ends, 1 in the center. Now we're just going to take a thin piece of material, probably like a plywood cutoff or anything like that. Just make sure it's kind of uniform because you want it to bend pretty uniformly. And start by putting it on the 2 screws at the bottom, and then just take the middle of it and just flex it up until you hit the center screw like that. Just make sure it looks like it's bending pretty good. And then just going to take your whatever you're marking with and draw a line there. Alright, so now we got our arc right there. Alright, now just remove the screws. And then I'm just going to cut right along this line with my jigsaw. Alright, so we've got both of these arches cut out. Now we just got to build a frame for it. So I'm going to start with the top plate, and I just cut that top plate to the same length as these, so 59.5 inches, and I'm just going to attach it with screws. Alright, and now I'm just going to kind of split this up evenly. So I'm at roughly 5 feet, so I'm just going to add 5 vertical studs in there. So 1 at the end, at each end, and then 1 in the middle. Right there, and then I'll just kind of split that right in the middle again. Alright, and now I just got to cut a stud for each one of these and just kind of measure out the length of that I need. So for this guy, I need a 15, and we'll go 9.5 and 8, and then these should be pretty mirrored. Yep. Alright, so 2 15s, 2 9.5s, and 1 8. Alright, so I've got these pieces cut, and now I just got to attach them using some screws from the top. And on the ones on the sides, so that one, and that one, I did put just a little bit of an angle on it. You'll just have to measure that out for your specific arch, but I believe mine was about a 15-degree angle. Alright, and then I'm just going to flip this over and put a few more screws in each one of these. Alright, so we've got this thing pretty much all put together except for the one other side, and we're leaving that off right now so that we can install it downstairs. So let me show you how to do that. Alright, so I went ahead and I started a few screws while it's down here on the ground. I left this space in between this blocking so I could fit this attachment in here and reach these screws. If you don't have one, this is a really nice attachment to have. It's just a extender. If you're interested, I'll leave a link down below. So let's put this up in the ceiling. So in order to install this, I just had to add a little bit of extra blocking both in the ceiling and along the walls, but this is going to be specific to each scenario, so add the blocking that you feel is necessary. And once it was installed, I just had to add the piece on the back side. So that pretty much wraps it up. If you guys found this video helpful, it would be awesome if you could hit that like button down below. That just really helps me grow my channel, and I would really appreciate it. And while you're down there, if you feel that I've earned it, consider hitting that subscribe button as well. That way you're notified every time I release a new video. Until next time, thanks for watching.